Hello, 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 everyone. It's me, Natalie Cousins. I hope that you guys had an awesome and amazing day. I did want to come on here tonight and talk about what's your return on your investment. It's funny how when we think about investments, we always think about the residual return, so the financial return that we're going to get. But it's a little bit more deeper than that. We are in April, the first month of the second quarter. It's the second Wednesday of the month. And, you know, this month is all about business and being successful. Everyone's success is weighed upon differently. And everyone sort of looks at their successes with their different milestones and things like that that they have. So at the end of the day, this is just a very general statement, but I think that it will work with whomever and for whatever. But being in the real estate market, we know that we always talk about what's the return on the investment. We look at the community, we look at the property, and we try to see what the return on investment is going to be for our buyers or our sellers. But tonight, that's not what I'm coming to talk to you guys about. I'm coming to talk to you about the return on investment for you and your business. So we need to focus more on the relationship that we have with our clients that we are working with, the relationship that we have with our trades, and just overall the relationship that we have with people that we do business with. If you take a look at business owners, so it's not just in the real estate industry, but anyone that has a business, we know that we have to invest time and we have to invest money every week or every month on advertising or marketing to get exposure and to get out there. We spend all this money and we want to be able to have that create traction in our business. And when we say traction, we mean we want to be able to have it bring us in leads. We want it to give us some sort of exposure. And we work really, really hard to be able to pay these bills, to be able to have exposure. Now, why are we paying all that money for exposure, and why are we paying all that money for advertising and just hopes to get repeat business if we can't even provide return on investments? So what I mean by that is we have our buyers that we work with. We have our sellers that we work with. They've come to us, whether it be repeat business, they come to us, whether it be by referrals. We are eager to answer the phone when they call that initial moment. We talk to them about who we are, what we do. They say that they want us to list their home, or they want us to buy they want to buy a home. They give us the properties, and we are just the best agent on the forefront in the initial connection with this buyer, with this seller. And then two things happens. One, they become not interested in buying or selling anymore. Two, they do actually buy or sell from us. We get the commission check. And then what do? I'm going to say it very bluntly. We move on to the next victim. We don't have a follow-up system in place. We don't have anything to create customer service and retention. And then what ends up happening is 3 years down the road, we're driving through the neighborhood showing another buyer a home. And what do we see? Or we're canvassing the neighborhood. What do we see? We see that buyer who's now a seller, that property is for sale, and they haven't called us to actually list the property. Why is that? Lack of return on investment. We were good in the beginning of the transaction, but at the end of the day, we didn't invest enough time into these buyers or into these sellers for them to feel worthy enough to relist with us, for them to feel worthy enough to refer us to somebody, for them to refer us or give us repeat business. And why is that? Our lack of being able to invest into our clients. We invest in the front end of our business, but we don't invest in the back end of our business. And that's what the problem is. And how can you get a return on investment if you are not able to fall through with these clients and have a relationship with them? So that brings me to why we need relationship marketing in our business in order to gain a return on investment. Okay, folks? So we know that we spend money on marketing. We do that so that we have exposure. We do that so that we have a presence and everybody knows who we are and what we do. But they forget about us because they don't know who we are or what we do after we get our commission checks and leave the closing table. Without marketing and without thousands of dollars in our advertising budget, not a single soul is going to know who we are or what we have or what type of real estate industry we're in and what's the purpose of us being here. And so what that does is it allows us to fade away into this crowded market because we're not doing what we need to do to stay alive in the real estate industry. Now, people purchase from people who they know, or people do or initiate business with people that they know, not with people who just pop up and do pop-up shops or people who come today, gone tomorrow. Our clients who want to invest in us, what they are looking for is recommendations from others who have purchased from us, or they're looking for how we treat them during the sale and after the sale. And people who have the purchasing power, they want a relationship with you so that they can continue to work with you, or so they can be able to refer you after they've worked with you. So relationship-based marketing gives you four main things. Among the thousands of things that it may give us, it gives us four things. It gives us visibility, it gives us authority, it gives us a super power reputation, and it gives us happy and enthusiastic fans. So I ask, why aren't we being able to have a return on investment for our buyers or our sellers that we're already working with? Why is it that we're just on to the next? Why are we not thinking about the current clients that we work with? Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Majority of individuals who go into real estate, 9 times out of 10, it is not an inheritance of the family business. It is not that you've been in it for a long time. What it is you were in sales. It could have been that you were in telecommunication sales, pharmaceutical sales, whatever the sales is. Those are cold, hard cut markets, right? And so what ends up happening is you come into the real estate industry because you've either been burned out in that other sales industry, and basically what ends up happening now is you are in this market and you're really trying to grow and you're trying to be a salesperson, but you bring your bad sales habits into this market. What you're doing is you're actually coming from the burnt out industry. You're coming in, you're not paying attention to what really truly matters to give you hardcore longevity in the business. And so what ends up happening is you're just in it for the moment. You deal with these clients on the beginning end, but you don't deal with them on the back end, and then you lose them. So let's talk about visibility and what visibility actually means for us. So in order for you to have a relationship with a single person or a large audience, you need to be able to interact with them, right? And this is in the beginning to build your brand, but this is also in the end after you've worked with the client and there's no immediate need for business, right? This is not just something that you do once in a blue moon. It's got to be consistent, right? So they want to be able to look at you for your visibility. They got to get to know their likes and their dislikes about you. They want to be able to know that you understand the problems that they're experiencing if you're the person, in fact, that they do want to work with. They want to know your worth ethics, right? You can look good, show good, but then at the end of the day, when they start working with you, there's a personality clash, right? So they're online, they're checking you out. They want to see what it is that you're doing, who you are. So you got to be forced to be consistent with your interaction with others, whether it's in person or whether it's on social media or in real life, naturally giving you more visibility, right? Let's talk about authority. That's the second thing that needs to be done in our business, okay? So do you share your knowledge with your audience? Do you not want to share it because you're saving it for buyers that actually work with you? or are you hosting workshops and things like that on a weekly basis to be able to explain what's happening in the current market and what's going on? So what is your authority in your industry? Okay. Are you on platforms? Are you on, what social media are you on? Do you have a YouTube channel? How are you increasing your authority for future and past clients, right? Let's talk about your reputation, right? It has to be stellar, right? Can you see how visibility and authority both work together? It's like a top bun and a bottom bun. And as you interact with people and become more of an authority figure, okay, your audience will naturally want to be able to work with you and be able to see what it is that you're doing and being able to understand that this is the person that I really want to work with. Why? They're visible. I see the authority in their work that they're doing every day. And then you're actually building your reputation in the industry. So how are you going to build your reputation in the industry if you are not being visible and if you don't have any authority, right? And then what are you doing after you've worked with them? Okay. And then all of this leads back to me saying that you have happy and enthusiastic fans and audiences. And basically, you'll know you've made it because everybody's actually eager to want to be able to see you, work with you, hear you. So if you are not doing this in your business, how can you actually have repeat business? How can you actually have exposure? How can you get known for being a buyer's expert or a listing expert in your area? How can you possibly do that? Why is it that as soon as the sale is done, you've walked out of that closing room, your table, you have only started to focus on the next buyer to work with or the next seller, and you're not concentrating on the person that you just walked out of the closing table with? So that's what we're going to talk about. Every month, you know, I like to give free training and advice to be able to have us carve ourselves out from the saturated market and the competitors in the industry. And so on Wednesday, April the 25th, I have the free training, which is titled 5 Simple Ways to Build Relationships to Grow Your Business. So we think relationship building is getting new clients, but it's also the clients that you've actually already worked with, and they got to be able to see that you care about them. You still got to be able to nurture them. And once you nurture them, it becomes repeat business. So remember, just because you sold the house to the buyer last week, their friends are going to come over, they're going to see the house that you just sold them, and then they're going to be like, okay, well, let me see, who sold you this house? And then you're going to say, well, Natalie sold you this house. And they're going to say, well, give me Natalie's number. And it's going to be one of two things, right? They're going to either say, well, you know, I don't really want to work with Natalie because she sold me the house, and since she sold me the house, I've not heard from her. Or during the transaction, this happened. And so you don't even know that that happened, because at the end of the day, you're gone back to working with the new buyers and trying to get those new listings that you have no customer service and retention for your past clients. And so when you see that they begin to work with someone else, or you approach them, or you run into them in the supermarket, and then you're trying to do small talk, why, right? They've already forgotten about you just like you forgot about them. Stop being a transactional real estate agent and be a residual real estate agent. That's what this whole thing is about, is creating long-term business, income, repeat business, referrals, long-time clients. There's nothing more heartwarming when you have generations of people working in the same circle, or every time this person is looking to acquire a property or sell a property, purchase a property, whatever it is that they're trying to do, you're their go-to person. And so in this free training, we're going to talk about how you can exactly do that by growing your business and growing your clientele with these 5 steps. And once you do that, you're going to learn the most effective and authentic ways to grow your authority and visibility in your business. We're going to talk about why social media marketing is never a waste of time. Technology keeps on evolving and evolving, folks. And if we are not up on our game on technology and all of what social media has to offer and the different platforms, and if you're in a coma and if you're in a sleep, so will your business. So wake up, focus on the prize at hand, which is getting the training, getting the things that you need to be able to stand up in your business. So we also want to talk about, what to share on social media to build the knowledge, the trust factors, and also being able to engage with your clients, right? And so there's a lot more that we can talk about, but the main thing is, folks, if you are not investing in your past buyers, your past sellers, how can you see a return on investment? You won't, right? And if you keep repeating this cycle, eventually your pipeline dries up. We talk about the marketing pipeline and how to fuel it and how to engage your clients and how to get repeat business. But if you continue like this, what's going to happen? So join me on Wednesday, April the 25th for the free training webinar, 5 ways to build your relationship and grow your business and your clientele. The link I'll post here in the chat. And again, if you guys have any questions or concerns, if you want to be able to have the discovery calls, I do have that also available every Friday for those who direct message me. So join me Wednesday. If you guys are able to connect before then, I'd be happy to do so as well. 5 ways to build your relationships, and that it's going to grow your business and grow your income. It's always a pleasure. Don't forget to like and share. Agents in the industry at all that's trying to build their, go ahead and share this video or the link to this video. Visit my website and also follow me on Instagram, Work with Natalie Cousins, and the website is www.nataliecousins.com. That's all I have for you guys this Wednesday. Also, I'm uber excited to be announcing that I will be speaking with some guests on Friday morning. One is Yvonne Stanley. She is a celebrity photographer. And also I have an afternoon interview about finances with a lovely gentleman who I'm going to wait to share who it is, but he's from World Financial Group, and we're going to be talking to him about the importance of your finances, your money, and also for anything that can happen on an emergency or a rainy day. Guys, it's always an absolute pleasure. I'm Natalie Cousins, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.